Sawadee. Good afternoon, distinguished global audiences in YouTube. We are very pleased to welcome all of you to the webinar on circular economy and West Hero success stories for kindergarten and primary education today. My name is Thanapon Kantawichai. You know me as Kevin. I am a curriculum development officer from SEAMEO SEPS based in Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm pleased to be your host for today's webinar. SEAMEO Regional Center for Sufficiency Economy Philosophy for Sustainability, or SEAMEO SEPS, and Indorama Ventures are delighted to organize this webinar to showcase and share the best practices of waste management programs organized in 2023. Before we start the session, I would like to briefly inform you about today's agenda. We will start with the opening message, with a welcome message by Ms. Duriya Amatawiwat, the Center Director of SEAMEO SEPS, and followed by the session 1, West Hero Best Practice in School. After this will be the session 2, topic on West Hero Best Practices in Classroom. And the last session will be the presentation on circular economy and West Hero education resources for kindergarten and primary education. And there will be the closing afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, to start the program, may I take this opportunity to invite Ms. Duriya Amatawiwat, the Center Director of SEAMEO SEPS, for a welcome message. And her remarks will be delivered by Elizabeth So, otherwise known as Libby, one of our SEAMEO SEPS team. Libby, may I turn the floor to you?
Thank you, Kevin. So, Regional Waste Heroes, YouTube viewers, colleagues and friends, good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar on circular economy and waste hero success stories in Southeast Asia. The SEAMEO SEPS Center Director, Duriya Amatawiwat, sends her apologies to you all. She's unable to be with us today due to unforeseen circumstances. As one of the SEPS team, please allow me to deliver a few opening remarks on her behalf. So the 2 webinars scheduled for this week capture the very successful 9-month collaboration between SEAMEO SEPS and the Indorama Ventures Limited, known as Waste Hero Development Co-Campaign. Officially launched back in May 2023, the impact of this initiative has been far-reaching. To give you an indication, here are a few of the numbers regarding participation across its range of activities. The project has engaged with over 1,500 educational institutions in Southeast Asia. 1,797 Southeast Asian teachers have been trained as Waste Hero Master Teachers. Over 115,000 115,100 students have gained Waste Hero knowledge from the same master teachers. Approximately 22,300 teachers and community members have in turn been trained by the master teachers. And 18 regional and national organizations have been involved as supporting partners, project contributors, and resource persons. These numbers clearly show that the chosen theme is one that the schools, school principals, teachers, and students from across the region have taken much to heart. Over the past 9 months, they have shown themselves they have thrown themselves enthusiastically into the various activities and jumped at opportunities to join awareness-raising webinars, participate in master teacher training sessions, and showcase their ideas and activities in the recently completed Waste Hero Awards. They also continue to benefit from the education resources that have been created, comprising 19 free activity-based lessons and workshops suitable for kindergarten to university level that are all available on the SEAMEO SEPS website. You'll hear more about these resources from Mr. Brian Caraway of the Yunus Thailand Foundation this afternoon. By hosting these 2 webinars, SEAMEO SEPS recognises all those who have participated in the Waste Hero Development Co-campaign. In particular, we are pleased to honour the prize winners from the Waste Hero Awards, who have generated a wide range of practical ideas in fostering the circular economy. SEAMEO SEPS has created this platform to highlight their achievements, which I'm sure will serve as an inspiration and motivation for others in the region and beyond. For anyone joining us for the first time, may I briefly explain a little about SEAMEO SEPS. SEAMEO stands for the Southeast Asia Ministers of Education Organization, and SEPS for Sufficiency Economy Philosophy for Sustainability. Our centre, which is hosted by the Thai government, is one of the youngest in the SEAMEO family of 26 regional centres and commenced operations in November 2019. Our mandate is to promote the sufficiency economy philosophy of the late King Bhumibol Adulyadej as an effective means to achieve sustainable development. The SEAMEO SEPS team all firmly believe in the value of SEP as a way to improve the world we live in and ensure fairer outcomes for everybody on the planet. We believe that the SEP mindset is unique. It is a genuinely human-centered philosophy that offers more than just hope, but also practical guidance on how to find lasting solutions to the many challenges the world faces. We see education as the means to drive such thinking and recognise young people as having the capacity, creativity, and willingness to engage on local, regional, and global concerns. SEP can enhance our resilience and can help prepare us to face unforeseen events and challenges. And its core principles of moderation, reasonableness, and prudence lay the foundations for leading more meaningful and happy lives in harmony with our fellow human beings on this planet and with nature. We are pleased, therefore, that the SEP way of thinking and living is clearly reflected in the activities presented in the Waste Hero Development Co-campaign, and are hopeful that this undertaking can contribute towards the achievement of the SDGs across the region. Before we begin the webinar, and on behalf of the SEAMEO SEPS team, I would like once again to thank everyone who has supported us in this venture, including UNESCO Multi-Sectoral Regional Office, UNOS Thailand Foundation, Southeast Asia One Health University Network, Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization Secretariat, SEAMEO Regional Open Learning Centre in Indonesia, SEAMEO Regional Centre for Technical Education Development in Cambodia, SEAMEO Regional Centre for Education in Science and Mathematics, Malaysia, and SEAMEO Regional Training Centre, Vietnam. I leave you now in the capable hands of the moderator of this first session, SEAMEO SEPS, Abigail Lancetta. Over to you, Abby.
Thank you, Livy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the webinar on Waste Hero Success Stories in Southeast Asia. This is the kindergarten and primary level edition. My name is Abigail and I am your moderator in the first session, Waste Hero Best Practices in Schools. We are delighted that we have 3 speakers in this session. They represent 3 schools, one from Indonesia, one from the Philippines, and one from Malaysia. They will share best practices in waste management in their schools. And if you do not know yet, it is my great pleasure to inform our global audience that the 3 schools presenting in this session are school category winners of the SEAMEO Waste Hero Awards 2023. Isn't that awesome? And so without further ado, let's get on with the presentations. Each speaker has 10 minutes to present, After the 3 presentations, you, the global audience, will have a chance to interact with them through a Q&A session. To send in questions, you can access the QR code or the link provided in the description box on our YouTube live broadcast. You can check that out now. Our team will catch your questions and we should be able to feature some of them. Thanks to those who sent in their questions in advance. We received some of them since yesterday. And may I now invite then the first prize winner of the Waste Hero Awards 2023 school category, Sekolah Alampasitan, Indonesia. We have with us today Mr. Bangun Naruttama, the school principal, and Miss Maya Nurhidayati. She is the coordinating teacher. Mr. Bangun and Miss Maya, may I give you the floor. The time is yours, please.
Okay, thank you for the time. I am Bangun Naruttama, Sekolah Alam Pacitan, Indonesia. In this occasion, I would share best practice. Next. Number 1, concept Sekolah Alam Pacitan. There are 4 things in sporting school development, namely student character, logical and knowledge, leadership and entrepreneurship. This concept is the power to rate enjoyable and friendly environmental education. Number 2 is rule. School has rule with government in developing program, for example, health, environment, culture, tourism, climate resilience, SDGs, and rationality program. Number 3 is teamwork. To create school must be start with solid teacher and school team, also strong vision, mission, school principal role in creating team in its fleet and big team from it. Number 4 is partnership. School establish partnership with government, organization, a humanist movement, observer, researcher who care about environment. The last number 5 is school program that will be presented by Ms. Maya.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bangun. And I would like to continue the presentations. Next slide, please. This is the aim of the WASTE project. Okay, I will continue the presentations. This is the aim of the WASTE project. The first one is to manage waste into zero waste and usable products, to develop students and community awareness about environmental action, to support SDGs, and the last is integrating environmental education into teaching, learning for developing student skill, communication, social, and emotional. Next. This our school building. It is located in Pacitan Regency, East Java, Indonesia. Next. Before starting teaching and learning activities, every morning students will do their morning routine, such as picking up the waste, feeding animal, cleaning schoolyard, cleaning classroom, and collecting the waste from home, and they bring it to the school in waste bank. Students also do morning presentations. They will present about texts related to the environment, climate change, science, nutrition, and others. This activity has aimed to gain students' awareness of caring for the environment and minimize the waste. Next. The school program. This is the school program related to zero waste and environmental education, such as reduce, reuse, recycle, replace, and sorting the waste. Schools also join and held some big environmental days, such as Earth Day, World Environment Day, National Waste Awareness Day, World Water Day, International Day of Forest, and others. We do it regularly. Next. This is about environmental actions. School environmental action are such as cleanup action. Students are always taught to pick up waste wherever they are. Then all school members, parents, and government be collaborating to clean up the beach, clean up the river and the water channel, and also clean up the traditional market. Next. The next is about environmental learning activities. It starts from green laboratory lesson. So our school has two lessons. The first one is green laboratory lesson. The content is about to teach students how to planting, harvesting, take care of the plants, and study about the plants. Then second one is environmental education lesson. The content is about how to manage the waste and how to take care about the environment. Then the program of sharing and caring about environmental education, and all of the teaching, learning, and also student projects are integrated into the environmental education. Next. In various performances, whether organized by school or invited to various events, we always consistently prioritize environmental themes such as making custom musical instruments from used material and using eco-friendly material for decoration. The aim is to raise community awareness to care about the environment. We also promote environmental education through radio broadcasting and share on social media. Next. Partnership and collaboration. School has partnership and collaboration with parents, government, organizations that concern in environmental action, and then cultural figure and schools from other country or other place. We had an environmental workshop, cleanup action, and share best practice for the communities. The next. This is our bazaar and exhibition. On several occasions, school held bazaar and exhibition. It will design an eco-friendly decoration. We also had pre-loved or second-hand clothes bazaar. The aim is to gain awareness for the community to manage the waste and to minimize the waste, and to educate people to love our environment. Next. In reducing paper waste, we use online receipts, digital announcement, digital attendance, and digital canteen administration. It also can reduce paper purchasing budget. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you very much. And please, Ms. Abigail, I hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bangun and Ms. Maya. The stories of your school are indeed impressive. You could see how each small detail of school activity is given thought, how each activity is mindful of the environment and mindful of waste management. Indeed, thank you for your stories, for sharing your experiences. And again, congratulations for bagging the first prize winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the second speaker is the second prize winner of the Waste Hero Awards, still the school category. Shall we welcome Dadap Elementary School from the Philippines? The school principal is Mr. Donald Sapon Calma. But today, the presentation will be delivered by Ms. Rachel Joy Cabulos Aquino. She is the coordinating teacher. Ms. Rachel Joy, the time is yours. Please take it away.
Good day to each and every one of us. I am Rachel Joy Aquino, the school coordinator of the Solid Waste Management in Dadap Elementary School, and I am proud and happy to present to you our best practices in Dadap Elementary School when it comes to solid waste management. But before anything else, let me share to you a little background on our small school. Our school is composed of 62 male learners and 61 female learners with a total of 123 learners. So when it comes to population, Dadap Elementary School is the smallest school in the district. And here are the bright teaching and non-teaching staff of Dadap Elementary School accountable in building and developing responsible learners. Yours truly as the kindergarten teacher, Ma'am Floren G. Dayapat, grade 1 teacher, Ma'am Franchel Jane C. Dapiawen, grade 2 teacher, Ma'am Jeveline E. Hecto, grade 3 teacher, Ma'am Edna S. Suitos, grade 4 teacher, Ma'am Charming Joyce T. Obligado, grade 5 teacher, Ma'am Julie S. Gonzalez, grade 6 teacher, and our school principal, Sir Donald S. Calma. To maintain a clean, safe, and healthy environment, here are the best practices of Dadap Elementary School. Number 1 is Gulayan sa Paaralan or Garden School. Implementing school gardening will teach the learners how to improve their nutritional status, learning where food comes from, and how planting promotes beautification of their surroundings. The objective of this is to promote vegetable production in the school campus, to establish and maintain gardens as ready food source of vegetable in sustaining supplementary feeding, and lastly, to include among the learners the values of gardening, good health and malnutrition, love of labor, and caring for others. Our next best practices is the individual net bags. To lessen the waste in our surroundings, all learners are encouraged to use net bag individually. This net bag is very useful not only as material to throw their waste, but also in carrying their school materials. As they form their line going to canteen, they bring with them their net bags for proper disposal of their waste. Additionally, this net bag is also used for laundry or for cleaning our dirty rags in school. So aside from using it in throwing their waste, it is also used for laundry. That's how useful our net bags are. Another one is waste segregation. We implement a proper waste segregation system to separate recyclables, biodegradable, and non-biodegradable waste, providing clearly labeled bins for different types of waste in easily accessible locations, especially in every rooms and in every corner of our school. Through the help of our solid waste management officers in the school, they ensure the proper segregation collection and lending a helping hands in maintaining the cleanliness of the school. So it is very important that we have our SWM or solid waste management officers in the school for us to have an effective waste management strategy. You'll show them how to reduce their waste production, how to keep areas clean, and how to recycle, building a more sustainable generation. Number 4 is composting. With so many dry leaves around our school, we make compost out of it and use it for good. Compost is created from plant materials such as grass, dry leaves, or vegetable leftovers that can be decomposed. Compost can help in enriching the soil, holding moisture, suppressing plant diseases, and filtering harmful pests. The soil coming from the compost will be used for the planting plants and to maintain the richer and greener veggies in our gulayan sa paaralan or garden in school. Another one is education and awareness. We conduct regular awareness programs to educate students, staff, and teachers about the importance of waste management. Display informative posters and signages to guide individuals on proper waste disposal. Number 6 is recycling program. In every project that we do, we ensure that recycling is always a part of it. Plastic bottles used as pot, broken tires used as running tracks and playground equipment, bottle cups for instructional use, coconut shells in playing games, and many more. Income-generating project was also employed and very evident through selling the recycled materials in junk shops. It enabled the school to generate funds in school feeding program for severely wasted learners, leading to a success indicator in the nutritional health of learners. Likewise, it augmented the financial aspect of school in the procurement of school supplies intended for our learners. And lastly, less use of plastic. The school canteen offers reusable trays and cutlery, reducing the need for single-use plastics and disposables. Whenever there are feeding programs in school or in classrooms that was donated by our stakeholders, we encourage our learners, to bring their own eating paraphernalias to lessen the waste. So by implementing these best practices, schools can contribute to a cleaner environment and still a sense of environmental responsibility in students and the broader school community. So that ends my presentation. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day, everyone. Mabuhay!
Thank you very much, Miss Rachel Joy. What caught my attention and which is my favorite is the use of the net bag. So each student carries the net bag and put their solid waste. And then in the afternoon, the teacher gets the bag and use it as a brush to do laundry. That is very, very interesting and a good practice. And for Dadap Elementary School, your school may be small, but you are making a huge impact in the global waste management efforts. Congratulations, Dadap Elementary School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the third speaker. The school who is also the third prize winner of the Waste Hero Awards 2023 school category, the SJKC Pun U 2 Malaysia. The school principal is Madam Raymer Chong Kung Ha. And the presentation this afternoon will be delivered by the coordinating teacher, Mr. Alastair Sia Gia Hui. Mr. Alastair, the time is yours.
A very good afternoon to all, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank SEAMEO for providing us this platform to share with you what we've done over the course of these years. Before we dive right into today's presentation, allow me to first introduce you the administrative team. Under the leadership of Madam Rama, together with the support of 4 senior assistants, we remain steadfast in the implementation of different Go Green programs. I must say that these programs wouldn't be a success without the commitment and collaboration from every individual in our school community. And that is why we've established a strong partnership with everyone so that we could mobilize them in the execution of the Go Green programs. It is our heartfelt desire to nurture young generations who will be the catalysts of change. In order to make this aspiration to come to pass, we believe that these are the fundamental stages in the implementation of the Go Green programs. They are rather important because they serve as a roadmap to nurture young generations who will bring forth transformational changes in the lives of the people around them. And here comes the first stage, which involves the impartation of educational knowledge. It is our conviction that education paves the way to revolutionize our lifestyle towards sustainability. And that is why we've conducted a series of educational programs such as webinars, workshops, and etc. These are the webinars which we had organized in collaboration with speakers from different organizations in the dissemination of educational programs. They were initially conducted at school level. However, we eventually decided to hold this event at state level because we want every school in the state of Johor access and opportunities in the acquisition of educational knowledge. Other than webinars, we have had planting workshops. Students from University Technology Malaysia were invited to share with our Go Green preferreds about planting. They had also learned planting with Mr. John in one of the leadership camps. The concept of urban farming has been embedded in their mindsets. They are taught that with the concept of urban farming is made possible even with the challenges of limited space. Our Go Green
We seem to be experiencing a technical problem, friends.
Other than webinars, we have had planting workshops. They had also learned planting with Mr. John in one of the leadership camps. The concept of urban farming has been embedded in their mindsets. They are taught that with the concept of urban farming is made possible even with the challenges of limited space. Our Go Green about ways to conserve our environment during the weekly assembly. And here comes the second stage, which is application. Remember, knowledge in the first stage. So once pupils receive these exercise what they've learned into application. We had organized enzyme program. This is an annual program in conjunction with the Chinese New Year celebration, where pupils, they use the leftover tangerine skins to make the enzyme together with their parents. Our pupils have also learned about making compost using the Takakura method. It is a technique learned during one of the webinars organized a photography competition with the theme centered around nature. A professional photographer was invited to share with our pupils the reason why we organize such an event is because we would like to enhance our pupils' observation towards the unique attributes of the environment. Our pupils made use of what they have learned, and these are the results. These are the photos taken by our pupils where they apply learned during the webinar. Next, organized Earth Hour campaign. The sense we are pleased to see both parents and children who had responded collectively in the campaign after the dissemination of information at school. Our in the co-curricular activity. They learn to use recycled oil to make the soap. We also have our own vegetable garden where different types of vegetables are planted here. These are the go-green prefits, and they help to remove the weeds and water the plants during recess. Competition. It is basis because we would like the children to make recycling a habitual routine. So these are the Go Green prefits where they help to record and weight these recycling materials according to each respective class. With the help of the Go Green prefits together with the teachers, this event could be conducted successfully, and we could, finish the tasks in no time. In order to appreciate what our pupils had done, prizes in monetary form is awarded to them as long as they are able to achieve the target set by the school. And here comes the third stage, which is exploration. So once pupils, they had the chance to step out of the conventional classroom setting and make connections with the real world. We had organized where our pupils, they collected these waste materials. And we managed to collect about 300 kilograms of waste materials at Tanjung PI. They also had the trees by planting seedlings. We are also truly honored to be invited with the public what we've done. And these are the Go-Green prefects. They took the initiative to share with the public about what our school has done over the course. Our school has also organized a field trip for our Go-Green prefects. We visited FIX. This is a one-stop center in Selangor where pupils learn about recycling and waste management. They also learned about flora and had a fun time enjoying treasure hunt in the forest research. They also learned about different marine lives. And here comes the final stage, which involves building networking with because it promotes deeper understanding and the global challenges faced by different nations. We had made a school in Taiwan where students from both schools, they exchanged ideas in relation to conserving the planet together. Collaborate with they learn about different plastics and attended a symposium on practices and plastic. We also partner with private sectors such as JCI and CIMB Bank. Corporate responsibility in meaningful events such as recycling. We also had the chance to receive visitation from schools in Johor, and we had fun time exchanging ideas and learning from one another. So basically, that is all from me, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Alastair. Even with the technical challenge in the broadcast, we agree that your school's waste management practices are commendable. Thank you for sharing your school's sustainability programs, including the achievements and awards. Your school is indeed a catalyst of change. Again, congratulations for the prize on all the efforts that you have been doing in your school. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's feature some questions raised by our global audience. So my colleagues and I have gone through some of the questions, and with the time that we have now, we'd like to just pose these two important questions. And if you allow me to read them, and while I do, probably I should request our speakers to kindly get ready. And please probably show yourselves on the screen now. So these are two good questions. Number one, what are the major challenges in waste management program at schools? Wow. And how did the school encounter the challenges? So let's focus on what are the major challenges. And the second question is very much connected to the first. How could schools sustain the program? How could you sustain the program as a school? And please highlight the role of the parents and the community. Now, this is my suggestion. How about for each speaker we have with us online, Dadap Elementary School and our school in Indonesia? How about let's start with Indonesia, answer to both questions together because they are related. But I suggest highlight only two major challenges, only two. And how did you face the challenge? And then in number two, it's connected. Actually, it's very similar. How is the sustainability plan? Shall we have Miss Maya and Mr. Mangun is still around
Okay.
here, Sir Principal. Please take your time.
Okay, I would like to answer the questions. For the first questions, the major challenges of our school is we are difficult to unite the perspective of the school member in carrying out a school program. And we need to be consistent in carrying out the program continuously to encounter the challenges. And then about how could the school sustain the program? This is we need the consistency again to carrying out our school program and goals. And for the role of the parents and community, we have a collaboration and creating partnership like joining an environmental event and program to support environmental education for school members. I think that's all my answer.
Thank you, Miss Maya. So, Fox Global Audience, you heard Miss Maya. Be consistent. Just keep doing it. Don't stop. Keep going. Thank you. That is a very clear message for all of us, and we will remember that. Let's hear from Miss Rachel Joy, Dadap Elementary School, please. Again, please cite the two most important major challenges. Thank you. Time is yours.
Good afternoon to each and every one of us. For the first question, the challenges that we encounter is first is maintaining the cleanliness of the school, especially when there are school programs or long vacations, because our school doesn't have any janitors to oversee the school's cleanliness. So when we go back to our school, there are a lot of fallen leaves from many trees, our garbages is scattered by dogs, and many more, and that we have to spend a lot of time cleaning our school. And to address the issue, before the beginning or the resume of classes, we encourage our learners and parents to participate in cleaning and the beautification of the school so that when classes is started, we are ready and we don't need to spend a lot of time in cleaning our ways. For question number 2, to sustain the program in school, the first one is the integration into the curriculum. To integrate waste management topics into the school curriculum so pupils learn about environmental stewardship as part of their education. And another one is to establish a solid waste management team. We need to form a dedicated team or committee to oversee the waste management program. And that includes teachers, parents, and also learners. And the role of the parents and the community is to the school should encourage the parents in the community to support the school's waste management programs and to educate them about the importance of waste reduction and recycling. And lastly is to educate the parents and community on implementing waste reduction practices at home, because the solid waste management is not only implemented in school, but it also be implemented at home, such as composting organic waste and recycling materials. And that's my answer, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Rachel Joy of Dadap Elementary School, second prize winner. And we hear, folks, the importance of partnership between home and school, between teachers and parents. Otherwise, the school cannot maintain, cannot sustain. And as Ms. Rachel Joy mentioned, the teachers work, the teachers prepare the parents, and the parents return service by helping clean the school when it's school break. So I can imagine parents and bringing their cleaning tools going to schools. So we hear the responses of the two schools, the winning schools. In fact, if we listen to them, these are very simple, very doable solutions. And if we just do them, then we can keep the effort sustained and we can replicate and duplicate in other contexts. And friends, with that, please allow me on behalf of SEAMEO SEPS and the organizers to thank sincerely our three speakers in this session. Again, congratulations for the awards you received as a tribute to your noble work as waste heroes in your schools, in your communities, in your families, not only in your particular town or region, but now in Southeast Asia and even beyond. And appreciation also goes to our global audience for your active participation through your many valuable questions. Some questions may not have been featured, but rest assured that there will be occasions that we can address them. Friends, this session highlighted passion and care for the people and the planet through informed and responsible waste management practices. I believe that these examples will continue to inspire others to take part in this global campaign, promote sustainable development for the present as well as the future generations. This session could be summarized in the words of probably Helen Keller when she said, "Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much." And with that, I'd like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, global audience speakers, our partners, for your collaboration and for the learning that we have achieved this afternoon. Thank you, and over to you now, Kevin, our Master of Ceremony.
Thank you so much, Abigail, for your great moderation in the session of Waste Hero Best Practice in Schools. And ladies and gentlemen, for the next session, Waste Hero Best Practices in Classroom, may I invite Dr. Wano Asmin Binti Mod Sabri. She's from Training and Research Division from the SEAMEO Rexham of Malaysia. Over to you, Dr. Nasrin.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm C from SEAMEO SEPS. And hello, everyone, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good evening to all of you. Here in Malaysia, we are now 10 minutes to 4 already. Okay, so we are going to start with our second session on the success story of the Waste Hero program, best practices in classroom. So it is a great pleasure actually for me to be part of this Waste Hero program, and also thank you to SEAMEO SEPS for the invitation for me to be the moderator for this session. And actually I participated in the classroom activities actually, but unfortunately I missed the date for the submission of the campaign. Okay, anyway, we are here today virtually to join together to welcome our three distinguished winners from the category of best practices in classroom. There are two from Indonesia and one from Malaysia. Congratulations to all our winners. Before we start with the session, I just want to remind that each speaker, you have about 10 minutes for your presentation. And for all the participants, if you have any question, you can scan the QR code. Or if you are on the YouTube, you will have the link for the question, okay? Okay, now let me invite you, our first winner. From Indonesia, Miss Putri Rismantia. She is a teacher of SD Negeri 17, Negeri 17, Talang Ubi, Indonesia. Miss Putri graduated from University of Technology Yogyakarta and was posted to SD Negeri 17 Talang Ubi since July last year. July 2022, about 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, until now. And she has also work experience in the production of the spare part and quality control of palm oil. So without further ado, I pass to you, Miss Putri. The screen is yours.
Good afternoon to all participants of the Southeast Asian webinar on circular economy and Waste Hero success stories. Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon, all participants to the webinar Southeast Asian Hero Work. Good afternoon to all participants of the Southeast Asian webinar on circular economy and Waste Hero success stories. Firstly, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who took part in the event. I am Putri Rismantia from SD Negeri 17 Talang Ubi, South Sumatra, Indonesia. I am eager to share successful practice related to waste management in my classroom. In my approach to waste management within the class, I employ their strategy which focus on empowering students through differentiated learning to raise awareness about waste management. I am use their strategy. Children's low awareness of the surrounding environment motivates for me to make change with one small step. With their strategy, I help to encourage children to care more about the environment through educational learning, where I give my students lots of space to think more freely and express their awareness of the environment. With differentiated learning, I facilitate my students according to their interests, where this learning concept is the essence of independent learning in the curriculum Merdeka. I hope that the small steps I take can have a big impact on the environment. Okay, next. What is their strategy? Their strategy is, which includes discussion, exploration, action, and reflection. It's carefully designed to help students understand waste management better. This plan is meant for primary school students and it's meant to fit different ways of learning, how ready students are to learn and what each student likes. Discussion. We start with a talk about waste management. This talk is designed to show how important it is and is done by asking questions so students can share what they think. Next. Exploration. We are currently delving into an exploration of the various types of waste present in our school environment. Our approach involves the utilization of visual aids such as picture, movie, online games, and hand-on activity, facilitating a dynamic learning experience for students as they observe and comprehend different waste categories. This method is aligned with the principle of differentiated learning, as advocated by the Curriculum Merdeka, which empower students with the freedom to choose their preferred learning paths, fostering curiosity and encouraging them to pose questions about the topic. Action. Now comes the part where students think of ideas to make waste management better. We do things like checking how much waste we have and making projects to help the environment. This helps students understand and learn important things. Reflection. Finally, students think about what they did. They think about how their action affect things. This helps students understand and learn important things. This plan not only helps students know more about waste management, but also consider what each student likes, making it a more interesting learning experience. Why is it special? The DEAR strategy with discussion and exploration, action, and reflection can help students understand in many different ways. This means students can show what they know in different ways. 1. Different ways of understanding. Students can show what they know in many ways, like writing, drawing, talking, or doing creative projects. 2. Helping different learning styles. By letting students choose how they want to show what they know. This plan helps all types of learners. Helping different learning styles. By letting students choose how they want to show what they know. This plan helps all types of learners, like those who like listening, looking, moving, or talking. Next, more interest and feeling in control. Students get more interested when they can choose how to show what they know. This also helps them feel like they are in control of their learning or learning autonomy. Learning more deeply. Because students can choose, they need to think more, ask questions, and use what they know. This helps them understand more deeply. Next, including everyone. This way of learning understands that everyone is different in how they learn and what they like. It makes sure everyone can do well and join in the learning of inclusive learning atmosphere. Next, looking at everything, teacher can see everything students know because they show it in different ways. This helps teacher understand how much students know and what they need to learn more or comprehensive learning. Learning from each other. When students show what they know, it helps students see different ways of thinking or supportive learning. Next, learning important skills. By doing project and talking about what they know, students learn important skills they can use in the future of life skill competence. Caring for the environment. The DEAR strategy helps students care about the environment. They use what they know to make things better in their school and community. With its different ways of learning and caring about many things, help students learn more deeply and be ready for the future. Next, impact and change after DEAR strategy. After the implementation of DEAR strategy, there have been significant impact and change. Let's check them out. Okay. The first observation revealed that students have developed a proactive awareness of cleaning up trash without the need for explicit instruction. And next, the second video.
pra frente, brilho, cabeça dele. Toma, 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 toma. Se é pra frente, brilho, cabeça dele. Toma, toma.
Okay. In the second video, the learning environment showcase students adopting a green lifestyle independently, such as their initiative to bring their own bottle and container. And finally, the third video. The third video visually depicted students effectively sorting trash according to environmental friendly practice. In conclusion, I appreciate your attention during my presentation. I sincerely hope that the insight and practice I share will prove beneficial to all of us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Putri. What an impressive activities, classroom practices that you have conducted in your school. I believe that your DEAR strategy is very good actually. The DEAR strategy, the discussion, exploration, action and reflection, it reflects your the activities really boost the students' interest, and also with this strategy you are able to engage the students with the waste management program or waste management activity that you have conducted. And I believe that you have put so much effort together with your colleagues and also your school's administrators to work closely to prepare the classroom activities in a methodical manner, actually. So thank you, Ms. Putri, for sharing your project with us. And also, just now, I really happy to hear that you embed the differentiated learning in these classroom activities also. That is very good because you embed it in the DEAR strategy and also in the curriculum Merdeka, and eventually you apply it and your students apply it in the waste management program that SEPS has conducted. Okay, now we go to our second winner, Mr. Muhammad Hafiz bin Yatin. He is a teacher from SK Sandau Kinabatangan, Malaysia. Okay, SK Sandau Kinabatangan, Sabah, Malaysia. And Mr. Muhammad Hafiz was graduated from the Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia, Sultan Mizan campus in Besut, Terengganu. Okay, he majored in history education, and now he has already been in SK Sandau Kinabatangan for 4 years. Okay, and Mr. Hafiz is the first child of 3 siblings. He has much interest in environmental advocacy, leadership, volunteerism, human rights, and management skills. And he also enjoy making new friends and love to learn other cultures. That's very good, Mr. Hafiz. And I was also a lecturer from IPG actually. Okay. So without further ado, let us welcome Mr. Muhammad Hafiz bin Yatin. So the screen is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Azmin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening, everyone. So I'm Hafiz from SK Sandau Kinabatangan, Malaysia. So before I further with my presentation today, so let's have a look with the video that I have prepared in this webinar.
Hi everyone, I'm Hafiz. I'm a primary school teacher from SK Sandau Kinabatangan. My school is located in the east coast of Sabah, Malaysia. In this video, I'm going to share with you about my teaching and learning process at my school. I'm teaching Bahasa Melayu subject for participating in the Southeast Asian Waste Hero Awards. Teachers and paper are a best friend. However, we tend not to fully utilize the use of paper. In order to reduce the use of paper in the classroom, I have come out with a mini project named Save the Earth, or also can be known as STEA. The main goals of this project are to raise awareness among the students to apply the concept of 3R in our lifestyle. There are two main activities that I have conducted, which are scrapbook project and recycle project. Students are going to make a scrapbook from the recycled paper that had been used. Both of these activities are linked with one another. Please have a look the journey I have done with my students along with these Waste Hero Awards.
Hai semua, nama saya Sadatul Kalisha. Dalam projek kita semula, saya telah menghasilkan tabung. Tabung ini saya buat daripada botol mineral. Selain itu, saya juga menghasilkan buku scrap. Buku scrap ini saya buat daripada kertas terpakai. Hai kawan-kawan, nama saya Nuraini Atira binti Herman. Saya telah menghasilkan bakul dalam projek kita semula. Bahan-bahan yang saya menggunakan dalam projek ini ialah kulit kacang akademia. Gunaan bakul saya ialah untuk meletakkan barang-barang. Buku scrap ini saya hasilkan daripada kertas terpakai. Buku scrap ini saya hasilkan daripada kertas terpakai. Roket air ini saya hasilkan dari botol mineral. Kawan-kawan, sayangilah alam sekitar. Let's save the earth. Let's save the earth. Let's save the earth.
That's all from me. Thank you for watching.
All right, everyone. Hi again. So as you can see, the video just now, it's about the mini project that I have conducted in my classroom during the teaching and learning process, named STEA project, or also can be known as Save the Earth project. So yeah, we are going to see at my slide presentation. So let's go to the next slide. So before I go further with the presentation, so here's a little bit about my school, about me. So my school is located in the east coast of Sabah, Malaysia, in the heart of palm oil plantation area. So the second picture, as you can see, are the teachers and also the students. There are 30 teachers and 385 students in my school. While the last picture, as you can see, is the picture of me with my kids, with my students, standard 4 kids. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so in order to make this project a smooth one, so I have used the PDCA cycle as my methodology. So these PDCA cycles provide a simple and effective approach for solving problems and managing change. So in other words, it helps us to make improvement of process. So there are 4 cycles involved in this stage. There are P, plan, do, check, and actions. So for the P part, it's about identifying the problems. So we need to look what are the problems that we face in the classroom. While the D part is do, we execute the plan from the problem that we have encountered that we are going to to solve the problem. While the C part check, we study the result, the implementations, whether it is good or not. And while A act is about postmortem, where we implement the best solutions to improve or to solve the problem. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So for the plan cycle, so like I say just now, teachers and paper are best friends. Well, that's obviously because we cannot live without paper. Yes, it is about, today is about electronic age, but there's still a long way to go before we lose our dependence on this very important human product, which is the paper. Especially teachers. Yes, we are moving to the digital era, but deep down, we still need a paper. So, what a paper made of? Paper is made of come from 93% from the trees. While if we save a paper, if we recycle a paper, we can save at least 17 trees. Can be saved if we recycle 1 ton of paper. So let's go to the next part. So the objectives of SEA project, there are 3 main objectives. The first one is to raise awareness and to promote the 3 R's lifestyle. 3 R's is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Well, this may sound hard at first, but it will get easier day by day. It only takes a small change in our daily habits. For example, like we bring our fabric bag with when we go for groceries shopping, and it can also at school we bring the food container to the school canteen. So the next objective is the waste management. In waste management, we teach the kids on how to segregate the waste. It can be like discarding process, recycling, reusing, or controlling waste. The prime objective of waste management is to reduce the amount of unusable materials and to avoid potential health and environmental hazards. And the last objective is the environmental advocacy. In this objective, we want to save this earth. Like we want to give the future generations a good place to live, because they are in danger of inheriting a planet ravaged by environmental damage. So we need to raise awareness about how important it is to take care of the environment. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So in this cycle, so like I mentioned just now, I have conducted the STEA project. So there are 2 mini activities in STEA project. The first one is scrapbook project, and the second one is recycle project. Both of these activities are linked with one another. So the first one is the scrapbook project. Scrapbook project is we use the recycled paper, where we reuse the used paper. This is because like we have so many used paper that had not been used, because usually we just dump it into the dustbin. So why not we give them a second chance to the used paper? So that's why I'm using the used paper for the kids to do their scrapbook project. So what is the scrapbook project all about? The scrapbook project is all about the recycle project that they are going to conduct. It can be anything. The students are asked to make anything out of the waste. It can be like the piggy banks or a shelf, or it could be anything. So let's move to the next slide. So the check cycle. In these cycles, after implementing the project, so I have come a result where I found that each student reused 10 sheets of paper while conducting this project. So there are 30 students involved. So make it total 300 sheets of paper had been recycled. So it's quite a large number of paper that had been recycled, because previously when we do a scrapbook project, usually we will use a new paper. So in this project, I have reused the used paper to solve the problem just now that I mentioned earlier. It's about when we have a lot of used paper. Let's move to the next part. So the act, the postmortem. So after the implementations, I also found out that the students said to me that when we are using the used paper, the printed side is kind of distracted for them because they feel like they will look at the printed side. So in order to solve the problems, the distractor, so I came up with a solution where I stick two papers together so both sided can be used. So for the in the next project, I'm using the recycled paper that have been stick with each other. So in this way, we can save a lot of paper. So let's move to the next part. Okay, so I believe that everyone, like teachers, have done their part in educating the students about how important it is to be able to take care of the environment. And like, we may not have it all together, but together we have it all. So let's save the earth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hafiz. That is a very good presentation and very good activities. And I'm happy to see that your students are also engaged with the activities that you have done with them. And you're so creative actually to prepare such an activities for your students. It's not easy to have these students to talk in front of the video because they are from Sabah. They are you
Thank
have
you.
done a very good job
Thank you,
for the
Doctor.
students. I think this is you can be a motivator to other students also and to other teachers also to have their students to speak in front of a camera, right? Okay, and I believe also these activities has encouraged our students to show their support on the Waste Hero program. And I think this would help your students to be aware of their surroundings. All right? Okay. So your Save the Earth project is a very good one with your PDCA framework. And actually, Wrexham also, we have model on the paddle. It is planning and design learning framework for STEM program actually. So it's a more or less the same with the waste program. You can check out the paddle framework from our website. Okay, from
Sure.
SEAMEO website.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you,
all right. Thank you, Mr. Hafiz, for sharing with us. A very good one. Now, we are going to invite the last speaker for this session, Miss Yulia Suci Rejeki. She is from SD Negeri Bintaro 12 with her project title SOS Mission, Students on a Sustainability Mission. And for your information, Miss Julia is the Vice Principal of SD Negeri Bintaro 12, South Jakarta, Indonesia. And she has various background of education. This is very interesting. She was graduated in Bachelor of French Language, Bachelor of Primary Education teacher, and she has a Magister of Primary Education. And I see that Miss Yulia is also an alumni of Wrexham since 2015 and also alumni of SEAMEO Kitab Med since 2020. Okay, and she also she has been working from, I think, 1998, I think, because her first bachelor is in 1998. All right, so without further ado, I present to all of you Miss Yulia Suchi Rajaki. So the screen is yours, Miss Yulia.
Thank you, Miss. I cannot open the camera. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Yulia Suchirejiki, a teacher from SD Negeri Bintaro 12. It is a public elementary school in Jakarta, Indonesia. Today, I will share about my success story of being Waste Hero as third winner in South Asia. It is called SOS Mission. Next slide, please. SOS Mission is a student on sustainability mission. This mission have taken up by the students to protect our planet from the plastic menace. Next slide, please. Okay. First of all, at the first of the semester, I was asking to my students about school problem. Most of them concerned about trash around the canteen, particularly after break time. So that I was socializing the program Sustainability Lifestyle to the parents, teachers, and students, supported by the material that SEAMEO SEPS shared in the webinar. Thank you, SEAMEO. I was teaching students to be waste hero by showing them how to recycle, reduce waste, and do things that are good for the planet. It is related also to our curriculum. It is Curriculum Merdeka. So I give the freedom to my students to decide what kind of action they are going to plan. Next slide, please. Okay, the SOS mission began with the first step, reduce. Reducing plastic consumption, it means reducing the use of unnecessary materials and reducing the amount of the waste produced. The challenge is I need to be the role model and bring reusable water bottles and container for lunch from my house. Later on, students bring also from their home the tumbler for the mineral water and other purposes. And of course, I also prepare soap to wash the dirty container so that they can be used again. My students was learning about kinds of plastic that is safe to be used again too. In this way, it will reduce the negative impact of on the environment. I say no to the single-use plastic. Next slide, please. Okay. Step 2 is reuse. I keep saying to my students to give the plastic a second life. For example, for the science project, we use plastic waste as a media to learn about the growth of plants. By reusing plastic waste, not only care about the environment regarding the danger of the plastic, but students also become very creative in expressing their ideas to make product by using plastic waste. Next slide, please. Okay, and the students gathered in a workshop, working together to repurpose old plastic. As you see on the screen, we gave also the second life to use gallon of mineral water into another useful item. Next slide. Okay, step 3 is recycle. It's a concept for reprocessing waste into material that can be reused. You can do this by sorting waste and processing it into raw materials that can be reused. Students sort organic and non-organic waste. We make compost from organic waste at school, accompanied by the environmental service. Through this method, it is hoped that it can reduce negative impact on the environment and increase the efficiency of using natural resources. Next slide, please. Okay, caring about the waste management, students also express it through campaign carried out directly at school and via YouTube. So indirectly, they learn also how to master the use of the ICT as well. Next slide, please. The previous one. Okay, so we don't stop to innovate. Nowadays, our school give donation used cooking oil to Rumah Sosial Kutub Foundation. They will pick up those used cooking oil once a month, and it is produced to be biodiesel material and exported. The school get economical value for supporting social action. Next slide, please. Here is my students and I in front of our booth in school exposition in sustainability lifestyle. So at that time, every class must present their product of sustainability lifestyle. Okay, next slide. To be Waste Hero, I combine the resources from SEAMEO SEPS webinar. It is the website of Waste Hero Education, and also Merdeka Mengajar platform from Indonesian Ministry of Education. Furthermore, the community around us keeps supporting our school so far. Okay, now, next slide. Could you please admin to play the video that I submit to for the Waste Hero program?
Hello, I'm Yulia Suchirejiki. I'm a teacher in SD Negeri Bintaro 12. It is a public elementary school in Jakarta, Indonesia. I will share about the activity in my classroom about my innovation on waste management. And the title is SOS Mission. SOS means that students on a sustainable mission. Let's check it out.
Okay, by implementing the SOS mission, reduce, reuse, recycle concept, apart from reducing the amount and impact of waste on the environment, the wider community can also increase their sense of concern, awareness of the environment, and their creativity. Next slide, please. So together we can do it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Yulia. A very impressive activities also. You have encouraged your students to be more aware, to become awareness of the environmental, to become an environmental friendly. And I can see also they use the unused materials of the plastics for their STEM activities. That is a very good idea, a very creative one. And all the three our speakers today, they have a very wonderful activities. And thank you to all the speakers you have shared with us today and encouraging activities for us to maybe we can follow, we can use it, we can have an idea to impose in our activities in the classroom. And I also hope that all these three activities would benefit all of us, especially our young learners, to appreciate the environment and become the waste hero citizens. All right. Okay. Now we arrive at the Q&A session. Okay, we have 60 questions from the participants for this slot. And unfortunately, we cannot take all the questions because we don't have time to answer all the questions. But SEAMEO SEPS will send the question to all the speakers that you address to, the questions that you address to all the speakers. And I hope that, and I'm sure, all the speakers will give the answers to you through SEAMEO SEPS. Okay, so let us look at this question. What are the strategies to motivate students to keep solid waste segregation in their daily life outside the school? This question is from Abraham Marcel Bello from the Ministry of Education, Timor-Leste. And I think we can give each of you about maybe 2 minutes or less to answer this question. Can we start with Miss Putri first?
Okay, thank you for the question. I will answer the first question. Motivating students to start, okay, one more. Motivating students to engage in solid waste segregation in their daily lives outside of school require a combination of internal motivation and education in their strategy, particularly during the discussion phase. Emphasizing educating children about importance of waste processing and its impact on the environment by instilling a sense of responsibility and understanding. Students can develop internal motivation to actively participate in waste segregation. This internal motivation is crucial for creating sustainable and long-term behavior change. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Hafiz, can we hear your response to this question, please?
Thank you, Dr. Azmin. In my opinion, the best strategies that we can use to motivate the students to keep on doing the waste segregations is by giving them positive reinforcement. So positive reinforcement could be praises, could be also the gift and presents. Well, I believe kids of all ages love presents. So do us, like the adult, So in my project, I did the recycle project. So I asked the students to bring the waste from their home, which they had segregated, to the school, so that we can do the recycle project together. So the best project will win the competition. So I've run a mini competition. So I choose the best 5 among the students. So I think the best strategies to motivate students is the positive reinforcement. That's all from me.
What is impact of SEARO program to the students? Waduh, gue belum nyiapin.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hafiz. A good answer. Okay, Miss Yulia, can we hear your response to the first question? Actually, we have 2 questions here. I will get to the second question after this. Okay, Miss Yulia, can we hear your answer for this?
For the first question, okay, in my opinion, I think we involve the family, because as school students, they obey the teachers, but at home, the family must support also. So we encourage the students to involve their family in waste segregation effort. So between schools and home, there must be collaboration. So the information about segregation waste is also must be communicated to the parents also. And the second one, I think, as they are young learner, I use the visual, video, and real life example to illustrate the consequence if not segregation waste. Then that will be illustrate the students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the first question. We can conclude that all the the speakers just now saying that responsibility, understanding towards the environment, the positive reinforcement for the students so that they will motivate to do more, to become aware of the environment, and also we create a family support from there is a collaboration between the schools and also the family, so that our students will be aware and become the environmental friendly later on. Okay, so now the second question is, what are the impacts of this Waste Hero program to the students? Can we hear Miss Putri, your answer for this question, please?
Okay, thank you for the question. The implementation of the DEAR strategy has so significant impact and positive change in the student behavior. The first observation indicates that students have developed a proactive awareness of cleaning up waste without explicit instruction. This suggests that education and discussion during the DEAR strategy have internal a sense of responsibility among students. In the second scenario, the learning environment reflects students independently adopting a green lifestyle, showcasing initiatives such as bringing their own bottle and container. This demonstrates that the DEAR strategy not only imparts knowledge but also fosters a sense of environmental environmental and personal responsibility among students. Finally, the third scenario is all depicts students effectively sorting waste according to environmentally friendly practice. This illustrates that the action and reflection phase of the DEAR strategy are translating into tangible action, with students actively applying their knowledge to contribute to a more sustainability and eco-friendly environment. The overall impact is a positive shift in attitude and behavior toward waste management, showcasing the success of their strategy in creating meaningful and lasting change.
Okay, Mr. Hafiz, is there any impact on your students after you have done your classroom activities?
Yes, they do have big impact towards this West Hero program. For me, the biggest impact that I can see towards the kids, the students, when they have the sense of responsibility, a responsibility to be a good citizen who cares about the environment. This can be seen when they bring their own food container to the school canteen and they segregate the waste properly, when they also said to me that, so when are we going to make another project regarding the recycle project? So I think that's the biggest impact, when they have the sense of responsibility, because at the end of the day, we want to raise awareness to the kids, to the youngsters, about how important it is to take care of the environment. So I think that's the answer.
Thank you, Mr. Hafiz. So the last one, Miss Yulia. Any response from you on the impact of your students in the school?
Okay, for my students, I saw that increased the knowledge of my students. Based on the material that I gave them from the SEAMEO SEPS, that's the Waste Hero Education. So they learn a lot of things about kind of plastic with the triangle, and then which plastic that is dangerous and safe for them to use again. And then it is connected to the nature. What they are going to do, they think about the nature. Is it safe for our earth, or maybe when they throw the trash everywhere, it can be dangerous for the animal in the sea? Because I tell them about all of the danger if they do like this and what is the impact. So it become increase their knowledge so they can choose what is good things and what is the bad things from the waste. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Miss Yulia. So for the question, for the second question, I can conclude that all of us agree. I think we all agree that a positive change has been done for the students who have already participated in this program. And in fact, I think many of the students in all the participants who participated in this program has about positive change also. They develop awareness among themselves. They apply what they have learned in the classroom activities conducted by the teachers so that they can save the environment. And also, as you said, the responsibility to be a good citizen is a very important to create the environmental friendliness attitude. All right. Okay, so I think we have done with our second second session for this for the best practices classroom. So I hand over to you, Kevin, for the next session.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asmin, and our speakers from the best practice from the they are the winner from the West Hero Awards 2023. Thank you so much for the insightful and wonderful session. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to proceed to the next session. And for this session, you will have a better understanding about circular economy and the free West Hero education resources that the schools and teachers can download from the website. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Brian Caraway. He is a circular economy lead from Yunus Thailand Foundation. Brian, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, am I sharing? Can everyone see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, great, thanks. Thank you, Kevin, for that introduction, and for SEAMEO for inviting me here today to not only share about Waste Hero, but to really listen and to see all the winners, the students, the teachers, and the schools who really put a lot of hard work and consideration into this project. And really, I just want you all to know how important this aspect, probably the most important aspect of this Waste Hero project, has always been to really engage real people tangibly. So I just want to, congratulate everyone. Well, thank everyone for participating in the program as well, and congratulations to all the winners. Your projects are incredibly impressive. I just implore all of you to keep them going. And I love how the teachers have found very creative ways to engage students. So it seems like there's a lot of excitement there. So I just wanted to thank you all for that, because it does means a lot to us as we created this program. And to all the master teacher trainers, it's great to see you all again. And I think a lot of these outcomes have been a result of your hard work as well. So thank you again. So I know we're a little short on time, so I'll try to preface some of these initial slides, excuse me. But I think we're all aware that we are dealing with a pretty pressing waste challenge, and really this is only expected to get worse in the coming decades. And so really this is a great opportunity for us to really kind of identify what really are these core problems and these challenges within this system, because it's complicated, and there's a lot of stakeholders and a lot of people involved in creating products, the distribution of those products. We as consumers consume those products and we throw them away or recycle them, or what we do. So really, there's two components to this. We have this behavior side, which is you and I. When I go and buy a Coca-Cola bottle and I drink it, what am I doing with that after? We need to make sure that we're making the right decisions on how we dispose of materials or the waste. Or instead of viewing materials or waste as waste, we view it as a material that has value that should go where it needs to go back in the system. And the other component is understanding the systems that we're participating in. Waste management is different where I live than from where somebody else lives in a different country. And so I think it really is upon us as consumers and community members and citizens of nations that if we genuinely really want to tackle these problems, we have to understand how to participate in the systems that are available to us. And so basically there's these two ideas of production, how products and services are created and delivered to us as consumers, how we consume them as consumers, and what we do when we're done with them. So the current model, which is the linear model of, on the left, you see we take resources from the earth, we make products with those, and then we consume them and dispose of them. And in the linear path, oftentimes that can leak into the environment, people litter, or it ends up in landfill or incineration, which are some of the worst case scenarios. So the image on the right is essentially a circle. The circular economy is essentially just to keep materials in use. So that plastic bottle should go back into the system to make another plastic bottle. That's what they call the closed loop circular economy. We also want to eliminate waste in that process. So if we keep materials in the loop, nothing escapes and enters the oceans or enters landfill. Again, landfill is not where we want these items to go. So we really want to eliminate waste, keep the plastic, say, in circulation, not just plastic, all materials, and regenerating of nature. So where we're sourcing a lot of these inputs, here's an example of that linear path in these 5 stages: extracting resources from the earth, making products, we consume them, and then they have an end of life. So you see the straight line, but within that line, you can see where we can draw these arrows of circularity. These arrows represent different opportunity points for different products and services that we can identify to say, let's use the plastic bottle as an example. We extract chemicals from the earth, we make the bottle, we drink the Coca-Cola, and then I have a choice as to what I'm going to do to dispose of that bottle. Some people throw it in the trash bin, but the better option would be to recycle it. And so these other these remanufacturing, reuse, refill, repurpose, these are all different circular opportunities that we can build within this linear system to, again, around those pillars of circular economy, eliminate waste, keep these materials in this system and regenerating nature in the process. So this is a very hot button issue right now, and there's national conversations, regional conversations, and there's a global conversation happening around this topic right now, particularly around combating plastic waste. So the United Nations is actually conducting a global negotiation pact to create a legally binding plastics treaty. So this is very high level. This is all UN member countries having this conversation, from the production side of things, from downstream and everything in between. Excuse me. So it sounds very high level. It is complicated and challenging, and there's a lot of details and nuances within this conversation. And so, then we kind of step back and we look, okay, what can we do as consumers, as students, as teachers and educators? How do we get started in contributing to this conversation? Well, we believe that starts with education, and I think you would agree that that's probably also equally important, because I think we're in a safe space to say education is quite important in this group. And so that's why we created Waste Hero Education, with the aim to target young people, 1 million students by 2030, on really identifying the fundamentals of recycling, creating zero waste, and building that circular economy. And we've done that by creating 19 free lesson packages from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade and university level students. So some of you have already interfaced with some of these lessons, and I'll show you a QR code in a link later in the slides to give you access to the rest of them, because they're all free of charge and available on our website. But again, the core about what Waste Hero is all about is to get people such as yourselves, young people and students, to start taking action. So that's why it's such a tremendous benefit to see your videos and the photography of students doing that and such. So again, this is a great opportunity. So we went through a very lengthy process of evaluating all different kinds of resources related on the topics to really kind of build a framework for how we were going to create these lesson plans. And so we didn't do this alone. I do work for a foundation, and we do have education professionals here, but we really wanted to engage teachers in the classroom. And so we did that through an advisory group of 23 education professionals across 17 countries in 6 continents. So we had incredible representation globally, from rural schools to urban schools to youth groups in Nigeria to rural schools in Mexico to Ivy League schools in the United States. So we really tried to cover the gamut to ensure that what we create was going to be applicable in classrooms globally. And so this is kind of the iterative process of how these were designed. I won't get too much into those details, but just to point out that there was a lot of education guidance and support in the development of these materials. And so who are we trying to target with these? Of course, schools, but it's not just schools. We want students, and I think a teacher mentioned this as well, is like to really have some continuity with these programs, particularly in schools. We have to engage outside of the classroom. So whether that's families or communities more directly. And I think it really takes the youth activists, the leadership that I've seen here in this webinar. These are the student leaders that I think can champion these concepts and these ideas, not only in the school, but at home and in their communities. And so these are just a couple examples. Maybe some of you have seen these or not, but these are some of our lower level lessons. And I'd say this is most applicable to this group. For the kindergarten up to 2nd grade, we introduce very basic knowledge of recycling with a animated story of a rabbit family learning to recycle. And with each lesson plan does come an activity. So within this activity, there is a PET plastic bottle classroom challenge where students will collect bottles for the week or a month and bring those into the classroom, count them. So a little bit of arithmetic exercise that can be put in to be recycled. And so all of our lessons really underscore these kind of very basic concepts that are universally applicable. So this should work in Indonesia. This should work in Thailand. This should be acceptable in the EU around these kind of 4 basic materials of what can and can't be recycled and how to make sure we're doing this correctly. And then some of our later levels, maybe for high school, secondary and university level students, this is when we start introducing these concepts of basically production and consumption models. So how materials are flowing, and how are we managing those, and where we can identify those points of circularity and such. We introduce design thinking, so really getting students not only to take action, like counting bottles in a classroom and recycling, but in the later levels, we really want students to start thinking about solutions. So we have a variety of different tools, so problem solution tree analysis, mind mapping tools, design thinking such as this, where you really get to really understand the problems and ideate on some prototypes and how to find those solutions and build an iterative process in coming up. Maybe that's a community or school project and such. We also created some other interesting tools. Again, this is more for our level 6, maybe secondary and university level, but this is a circular business model canvas. And we enhance this existing canvas. Business model canvas is just a snapshot of a business plan, but in a one sheet, easily digestible diagram. But here we included 3 different components to a business plan that included circularity. So in the middle, you have this circular value proposition. What's the value of my business model to support the circularity of a product or a service, the innovation that we're deploying, and the end of life. So if I have a water bottle product, I have to state in my business model the intention of where that needs to go. So we really get students to start to think about not only products that we can sell and get to consumers or a service model, but what do we plan and how can we support those customers that have supported us to ensure that they're disposing of these materials properly. So these lesson plans are not set curriculum, although we would love to integrate this more with standard curriculum. And I think that came up once by a teacher's suggestion, but this is meant to be adaptable. So there's a lot of, we have the classroom lesson plans and we have the activities for the classroom. So sometimes teachers, I understand, are very busy. They don't have time for all of this. These were designed to really be very turnkey, meaning that teachers don't have to do prep time. You literally can go to the website, download one, open it up, and you'll have clear instructions and you can present the PowerPoint lesson plan immediately right there. Or if it's easier just to take components of the lesson to support an environmental science class or a biology class, or maybe a recycling project you guys want to initiate in your school. So this is a picture of like a 15-minute like warm-up slide where you can present to your class. It's very interactive. So you click the space bar and the red lines appear. It's like, can a glass jar be recycled? Yes. Can shoes be recycled? No. Just a very interactive way to kind of get the students thinking like this. And so these are just some pictures of testing that we did. This was a school in rural Mexico where students, one of the lessons is where you're supposed to create a waste hero superhero, but not just draw your superhero and let it be that, maybe with a recycling, symbol on his chest. But we really wanted to get students thinking about, well, what environmental problem is your waste hero trying to solve? What is the message that you're trying to inspire in your school? So in one of the lessons, they'll make a big call to action poster board to put in their schools to say, yes, this is the superhero, but this superhero wants you to always recycle your plastic bottle, and here's where you do it. So there's clear messaging here that we really want students to be communicating to other students these messages as well within the school. And this is, it's all in Spanish, this one, but just an example of how that was done. And it was very well received. Again, we did testing in a lot of different classroom settings, and yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. So the question of the day is, well, how can I access these lessons? So very easily, you can come to our website, and in the next slide, I'll show you how to access the website. You come to our lesson library, and each of the sections are, I guess, grade levels are broken down into levels. So we have level 1 through level 6. Level 1, as you can see, for kindergarten up to grade 2, we have them in currently 5 different languages, as you can see, with a beginner, intermediate, and advanced lesson. Now, you don't have to do those in order, but it's just encouraged that there is a bit of a building upon the previous lesson. So how do you get to the lesson library? You can easily scan the QR code here or just visit at www.wasteheroeducation.com. And I can go back to the slide if you want to continue to scan that, but also this is my email as well. You can also connect with me directly. I would love to, certainly work more directly with you guys and support where we can as well, because again, this is really what we're trying to do is get students taking action. And you guys have done a tremendous job doing that. I just want to commend you all, for the schools, the administrators, the teachers, and the students who are really getting excited about this, the videos and the pictures. It's fantastic. So this really, to me, is quite a capstone of the year for this project. We're entering the 3rd year of Waste Hero Education, and now is the time we really want to see this action coming from students and youth. So this is quite exciting. And yeah, and that's all I had to share today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for your insightful presentation of the Waste Hero Education resources. We are now understanding about how we learn about the environment and education. So since we are participated by many global audiences from all around the world, and I would like to take this opportunity to bring some questions from our participants that they sent us so many questions, and since we have a limited time, so we just bring one question from our participants. The question is, what is the main goals of circular economy? This is from
Yeah. Well, that's pretty straightforward and a really good question. It can be a complicated topic, but it can also be very simple. And in its simplistic form, it really has 3 aims. And I mentioned this prior to, is that the goal number 1 is to eliminate waste and pollution. So really just ensuring that that plastic bottle that we talked about is not going to end up in a river and an ocean somewhere. Pretty simple. I think we can all agree with that. The second goal is to keep resources in use. So that plastic bottle is a resource. So if we can prevent it from entering into the environment and becoming waste, which was goal number 1, where does it go? Well, we want it to go back into the system to then be remade into another bottle. So this is what they call the closed loop system. So one product then can be recycled or transformed back into that same product. So really keeping those materials in the loop, keeping them in the cycle. The third goal is also quite simple, it would be really as a result of the first 2 being successful, is that we're regenerating nature. So instead of constantly extracting new natural resources from the earth, we can just keep the materials that we're already using, that are already in the system, in use, so we can let nature naturally restore itself. So pretty much it's those 3 pillars that represent the core concepts of the circular economy. You can get into more detail with that, but for the most part, those are the 3 main objectives of the circular economy.
Thank you, Brian, for your for giving the answer for the question. So we got 3 ideas of the main goals of the circular economy. First is eliminate the pollution, and second is keep resources in use, and the third is regenerating the nature. So thank you very much. It is very concise and very useful for us. So now we have a better understanding in Waste Zero education. Thank you, Brian. And ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a calming session and reach to the last part of our webinars today. And now, may I invite Mr. Com Jordan. He is a Global of Advocacy and Education from Indorama Ventures for the closing message. Mr. Jordan, the floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Colm Jordan and I work with Indorama Ventures, and we are so proud to support SEAMEO SEPS and indeed you in the work that you're doing to try and create a more sustainable and circular future world. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you're doing. Our most precious resource is nothing to do with mining or business or commercial realities. Our most precious resource is the next generation. And we entrust those children, the leaders of the future, into your hands. And I'm extremely proud of the work that you do and our work together, but also grateful for developing that resource and ensuring a bright future for all of us. I want to thank the participants from the Southeast Asian countries and beyond on YouTube Live, and all the speakers who are the winners of the Southeast Asia Waste Hero Awards. I'm so pleased that schools have benefited from Waste Hero education resources. I saw the winner teachers, and I know that they have adopted the knowledge that they got through our Waste Hero Master Teacher Training in 2023 and the programs and activities that they've been able to turn that into in the schools. On behalf of Indorama Ventures, I sincerely congratulate all the winners of Southeast Asia Waste Hero Awards, and thank you for your contributions and for sharing best practice and innovative ideas in waste management at your school and in the classroom. The best practice and ideas you share today are going to be useful for all the participants here and a much wider audience. Indorama Ventures is a leading company, and we produce and recycle a special type of plastic called PET. It's used for soft drinks and water bottles, and it's made to be remade. As a leading material producer and recycler, we have a global responsibility. That's why we're building the infrastructure the world needs to close the loop and deliver a circular economy for the water and soft drink bottles that you see every day. Over the past decades, we've grown our business, and at the moment, we've just reached a mega milestone where we've managed to recycle 100 billion bottles. So why is recycling education so important? Across the world, people are worried about the mismanagement of waste and its impact on our environment. That's why we're supporting teachers with lesson plans to create zero waste, letting kids know about recycling fundamentals and building the circular economy. By empowering that next generation, that precious resource I spoke about, with the knowledge to reduce, separate, and dispose of waste properly, they will know how to end waste. Waste Hero is not only a recycling education program, but it's a way to highlight the solutions that our world is facing. We're very proud to partner with SEAMEO SEPS on the Southeast Asian Waste Hero Awards, reinforcing our commitment to promoting responsible waste management and raising awareness about environmental issues in Southeast Asia. The collaboration is driving our mission to educate 1 million people on recycling, zero waste, and building the circular economy. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your incredible work. Go home with your heads held high because of what you have done and the awards that you have been bestowed with. We wish to see you continuing to inspire students and teachers alike. Best of luck with the rest of today. Please enjoy yourselves as well as all that hard work, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jordan, for your heartfelt closing message. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the last part, very last part of our session for today's webinar. Before we say goodbye to everyone, we would like to invite the participants to join the webinar session on this coming Friday, 26th January at the same time from 2 to 4 p.m. Bangkok time, which will be highlighted the best practices of the school teachers and students for the secondary education. So you can scan the QR code and the poster or project it on the screen to register and join the session. And next, I would like to announce for the post-webinar feedback form. Everyone, we would like to request your cooperation to complete our feedback form for the further improvement. And to obtain the certificate, there is a form for the validation after you complete the feedback form. Please follow us on the step. The participant are required to complete the form before 26th January midnight time. And please make sure that your name and your email are spelled correctly. And once e-certificate is issued, there is no accommodation for the recorrection, and the certificate will be sent through your email address. And next, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the community session of this webinar. On behalf of the SEAMEO SEPS, Indorama Ventures, and Waste Hero program, we would like to thank you and thank you everyone, and thank you our speakers for the wonderful session. Thank you moderators. And so let me express my appreciation, our appreciation to the global audiences who are joining us in YouTube for the active participation since the beginning of the session. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say goodbye for now, and I hope to see you in the next webinar on Friday, 26th January. Goodbye and see you. สวัสดีครับ